So today we're reviewing
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
So we're starting out our Christmas series with Nightmare Before Christmas. Decided to pick this one first because this is a Halloween and Christmas movie, in my opinion. I think it is more Christmas, but it really is half and half. I mean, it's called Nightmare Before Christmas, but we decided to include it in this Christmas series, and it's going to be the first one. But what are your overall thoughts of Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, the Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely an absolute classic to me. I mean, I've watched it a million times. It's definitely a great movie. There's a lot of scenes. I feel like it's kind of like a classic format of a Disney movie. Like there's a lot of great songs mixed in with really good storyline. The animation in this film, like I said, is a good point to bring up. Is it's not really a cartoon per se. It's more of a I wouldn't say it's claymation, but it's more of like animated. But it's definitely, I like the format of it. Really, really cool effects, great characters, great songs, great overall movie. And it's definitely a movie that I've watched a lot of times and can just instantly think of songs and parts of it without even because honestly I've not seen it probably a year or so now, probably more than a year. But I can still vividly think about scenes like easily off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think I've seen this. I saw this less than a month ago. It's definitely a classic. I remember watching this as a kid. This movie does have darker themes to it. It is a kid's movie, technically, even though it has some really dark themes. I mean, there are some dark scenes in this movie as far as certain characters jumping out of windows and stuff. And it is definitely scary. This is a scary movie and has the mixture between Halloween and Christmas. It is obviously a classic, and there's so many scenes I can think back to. But do we want to get into the specific characters, I guess, in this movie?
I mean, obviously the leads are Jack Skellington, who's obviously like this guy right here,
Yep.
lead of the movie, and then I would say the second lead is probably the female lead. I would say probably Sally, and then there's just a lot of great supporting characters that you don't really see. I mean, you see them throughout the film. There's I would say, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's more of a Halloween movie because the characters in this film are almost 100% all Halloween characters aside from Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really the Halloween world wanting to like inflict what they believe is like the perfect life into like every other like world that they find. I think a good point to bring up is like this forest area, which I guess Jack's dog like flies into this like forest chasing after one of Jack's bones, and they find all these trees, which is really cool. It's like different trees of each holiday with there's like a Christmas tree one, an Easter egg one. I think there's like a St. Patrick's Day one. Maybe like a couple other ones I can't think about right now. Yeah, Thanksgiving, and obviously from like the mix of Santa Claus, Christmas and Halloween, he opens up the Christmas tree one because of like the glowing and like shining lights, and that's when like he enters the Christmas world and is just amazed by it. He loves what he sees. Towards the end of the movie, like they're trying to like do stuff that they think is like good things of like giving these scary toys and stuff. It's like it's kind of sad in some ways.
Delivering the presents, they think they're doing something good, but
like they just want to like bring their society world of like Halloween world to the Christmas world.
Yeah. And
I think it's just a cool mix there, and there's really a lot of cool like scenes that take place throughout the film, and I'll get more specifically I'll get into more specifics as we go along. I think it's a pretty cool premise of a movie because once again it's Halloween mixed with Christmas because Halloween movies really mix holidays.
Just to go through the main characters, I know we did Jack Skellington. Sally is on here. And then Oogie Boogie.
Oh yeah, the villain.
He is a good villain. He's creepy and intimidating.
Here's a cool scene in the beginning, which I'm going to touch on when we talk about the songs. It kind of like sets him as like a boss villain, honestly, in my opinion.
And Dr. Finkelstein, who is definitely good.
It's Sally's creator.
Yeah, is this creepy doctor who like opens his head and plays with his brain and stuff and takes his brain out and is totally creepy but really cool.
I think one of their characters...
The clown, the Harley Quinn demon.
That's cool.
Did not know his name. Corpse Kid. There's a lot of different...
There's
a werewolf.
Yeah. The Two-Faced Mayor.
Yeah, the mayor who's in this pop figure here.
Yeah.
Get a little closer. The Two-Faced Mayor.
There's a couple other side ones that I can think about right now. There's this like guy with like an axe in his head. He doesn't really talk at all, really. Yeah. There's also the three kids, which I think is one of this guy right here. I guess I wouldn't say like these. It's him and this like the girl with like a witch hat, and one guy with like a mask. Even though these two guys both have masks.
Yeah.
But I would say like they're not really the boogeyman. sidekicks or servants. I mean, these are kind of like his servants.
They're just
because
bad.
They do feed him every now and then. Like they put the food down the pipe. Like they have their house. Like
Yeah.
the pipe goes down to like he works with him. He doesn't really like try to hurt him at all. He always tells him like bring this person to me. He says bring Santa Claus to me to these three like kids. So it's like it's kind of weird that he's like using them as like kind of like his like pathway of doing what he wants to do. Three characters that you see a decent amount throughout this film are like these like I don't know what to call them, like the music guys that play on the street.
Yeah.
It's like a guy with like a head inside the guitar.
Yeah,
like,
and weird. Yeah.
they're always playing songs like in front of Jack's house. Like the guy like without even a mouth, really, like
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that actually did remind me because we can kind of just jump around different things. There is obviously Jack Skellington in this movie is portrayed as like just a massive figure in this town. They basically worship him, right? I mean, he starts out as a freaking like
Oh yeah,
comes in and they all love Jack.
yeah. I see what you're talking about that.
He has this cool tower, and in particular with the animation, there is some really cool animation that I don't know what this animation is exactly, but there's one scene in particular where Jack is in his tower and he's experimenting with Christmas stuff, and just I remember that so vividly how cool the animation was and how like appealing it was. And it's just that beautiful of animation. I just remember that so.
Yeah, I
vividly.
think that's definitely a good scene there when he's he had just got back from Christmas World, and just a quick side note, that was a great song when he's there about what is this? It's kind of a great song there, him like looking at the different things there.
Yeah.
And he runs into a pole at the end, but then he comes back and he has all this stuff like in a bag, and he's like so excited. You can like tell how excited he is to like investigate, see what it's about. And like the scene you were just talking about, he like breaks an ornament into this like thing. You see his eye, and so he tries to like cut snowflakes, and he goes like this, and it's like all spiders. Because like they're just like it shows like that's like their life, like they're all Halloween. It's kind of cool because he's trying to like teach his society what he learned in the Christmas world. And there's like has like a big like what is it, town hall meeting, I think.
Yeah.
And like everything he brings up, like everyone tries to like say it in a bad way, like. And then it's kind of, I mean, you like they're it's not really like ill. There's really no ill intent because like even them like when they're like when like they're creating toys, they create toys like this, and there's like it's
just scary.
It's like every toy they create is like almost like a killer toy. I think it's like a duck, I think.
Yeah.
Like a killer duck. So it's like at the end when they do give the like they replace all like the good gifts with like their gifts. You see a lot of cool. I think there's like a box that has like a hand coming out of it, or like teeth coming out of it. I don't know. Just seeing that scene where they're creating the different like toys and stuff. But obviously, my probably like favorite scene overall.
Well, I did want to mention one scene with Sally in particular with the creepy doctor, and when she poisons him or makes that thing to make him fall asleep. I remember that scene. And once again, the animation in this movie is just so cool, and the way she escapes, she pours different stuff into the soup, like the frog's breath, and the frog comes out. And the different potions are just so cool. And this movie came out in '93, and I love the animation in it. And that just sticks in my mind for so vividly, this movie and the amazing animation. And then, in particular, when the doctor opens up his head, like I said, with his brain, and like moves a part out of it, puts it back, and then...
It's kind of scary, a couple scenes, when he goes in and checks to see if Sally's in there, and she'd already like fallen out of the window and got out of there. He like breaks a lamp, or his like candle, and he's like his lips like quivering. He's like that mad. Even he's like stuck in his like wheelchair, so like she can get wherever he wants. But
she literally dies jumping out the window.
Yeah, it was like worms wart.
Wormswort. Where's that wormswort?
Like that was like the thing that he was like he just dug into like the bowl of stuff that she made.
Oh yeah, she had the holes in the spoon.
Yeah,
she drank it.
That is kind of a cool scene when she makes the frog's breath is literally a frog instead of this can that like breathes into the thing, which is kind of cool. Obviously, my favorite scene in the film has to be the beginning of the movie. This Is Halloween. Just a quick little note here. I'm not sure if we're gonna show the video or not, but we did when we were kids with our cousins. We did one of our like we did this dance in a show that we used to do with our family. And we used this song, and it's just I think ever since
consent.
Yeah, I mean it's like it might just be playing right here without any sound, but it was a pretty good dance. But anyways, the beginning scene that was just an absolute great start to the film because, like you said, it's where Jack Skellington's created almost because the music is just it's a great song overall, but it shows like different like really scary things. Like there's like this thing below the stairs with like
Yeah.
snakes and spiders,
Snakes and
and then
spiders,
and like there's like the red eyes under the bed, and what you were talking about with the Oogie Boogie, or what's his name, Oogie Boogie Man.
Boogie.
So him, it really does set him up as like this boss character. It's like at that moment, there's the part of the song where like, it's kind of like a boss part of the song. It shows him his like shadow in the moon, and just the way he like sings like his part of the song to that really just made him like you could just tell without even knowing who he was. He stood above the rest of the monsters or like things because like he's like in the moon. He also is like his description was the worst too. He's like your nightmares. Like it's once again it's a pretty dark theme who he is.
Boogeyman is meant to be.
And I just think it did a great job saving the movie and then just like getting right into like they're like doing a big ceremony and like it's just like a scarecrow with a pumpkin on the head and then like you can tell everyone's like bowing down to the same. All of a sudden Jack's there. And
yeah, it leads
he's
to a
the
cool
king.
scene.
I guess he's a king of the town.
It's confusing because
The mayor is
the mayor should be in charge. I think they kind of look at him in a different light, but that does bring me to the end fight scene where kind of jumping around where Jack and him are kind of facing off in a cool scene where he has such long legs and he's avoiding the guns.
Yeah.
And then he eventually pulls the whatever sheet or cloth off of the boogeyman and you see the bugs on there, which is just absolutely terrifying. This movie really does. It's a kid's movie, I guess, but it has some dark, scary themes to it, which is why it's so much like between Christmas and Halloween. Obviously, it ends. I mean, Jack Skellington gets shot out of the sky as Santa, which is really sad.
The humans are
He thinks
shooting
he's
him. Yeah, humans are literally bombing
He
Jack
thinks he's
Skellington's
helping.
sleigh, but also they abduct they abduct Santa Claus, literally.
Well, the bad kids do. The bad kids.
Yeah, but like even he abducted him. No matter what, either guy, Oogie Boogie Man or Jack Skellington, were asking the kids to abduct Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty dark storyline there. And also there's some really great scenes. I mean, I did actually think of a really funny scene. Probably my favorite funny scene. My scene would have to be when the mayor goes up to Jack Skellington's house to like show him like plans for like the next Halloween. Because it's kind of like the same thing with like Christmas with Elf, the movie Elf, which you'll hear a review of soon. How like as soon as Halloween's over, they start to like plan for the next Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Even though every night, every day in that world is like Halloween, so I don't understand what they're planning for. But he's at the door and he's humming the "This Is Halloween" song. He's like there's like a spider on the door that he's like knocking, and all of a sudden his happy face turns like like an angry face. He's like Jack, and then he like falls down the stairs. And,
Jack, answer me!
Yeah, that's a pretty funny scene there. That's when like Jack shuts himself in his house for like a week straight, like investigating the Christmas stuff. And I'm not gonna act like I'm like a big fan of like the singing movies. I'm really not. But there's songs in this movie that are just absolute great songs. Honestly, every single one from Sally's songs to Jack. I think they both have like a combined song, even though they're not together at the beginning. And there's a great song, even from the kids. The kids sing a song.
Yeah.
There's
the walking bathtub.
Yeah, walking back bathtub. There's that's pretty scary. And then also like at the end, Oogie Boogie Man just has like his whole like I guess lair down there with like the dice. He throws the dice. Just pretty bad stuff in there, but some great songs overall.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of great song choices. The animation's perfect. It's so fun to watch. There's a lot of memorable scenes. I remember growing up with this as a kid. There's definitely a lot of dark themes to it because this movie really is dark. It does have a good connection to Christmas, and obviously it ends up with they understand more of the concept of Christmas. I do think, I guess, as far as funny scenes, it is kind of funny when he thinks he's helping people by putting the gifts in there, and he ends up getting shot at, and he's like, what the F is that? I feel like he has some funny line, right?
Which one?
When he's getting shot at, he's like, come on, what's going on?
No,
he thinks like it's an accident or something.
No, he thinks they're he's saying that they're celebrating by shooting fireworks, and he's like, whoa!
Yeah.
He's like, that one was pretty close, guys.
I guess that's my funny scene.
It's kind of sad at the same time. I mean, he
No, it
doesn't
is
die,
really
he's a freaking
sad.
skeleton. But
Well, no, it is really sad though. I do think it's funny though at first because he thinks he's doing a good thing because he made the skeleton army. Although the scientists actually made the skeleton guys. Yeah.
that song, even the beginning. Now I'm thinking of scenes that when that clown has his he's like swirling around in like his like tricycle or whatever it's called. He like takes his face off and his voice gets really like deep and like pretty. I mean, once again, it's not scary. I'm not saying it's scary.
There's some scary scenes.
As a kid, I think it's pretty scary.
Oh yeah.
Right. There was actually a funny scene where Jack was asking the kids to kidnap Santa Claus, and they bring back the Easter Bunny the first time. And he's like, "No, I told you guys to find
That's
Santa
true.
Claus." And he's like, not this giant rabbit. And he's like, take this rabbit back to Easter,
That's true.
Easterland, and like, I don't know, I was like,
I forgot about
I thought that was
that.
kind of a funny scene there too. Seeing it came out in 1993, which is insane. I thought this came out after I was born because I was born in '96, and this movie came out 3 years before I was even born. It's crazy to even think about. Also, really quickly about this movie, this would definitely fit, I believe, into our My Favorite Movies series. So this might actually we might even add it into that playlist because this is easily a 10 out of 10, I think, for us.
But this review was recommended by Carno Fanboy, who was there for the live stream, and I know this is the first one we're reviewing in the series. Wanted to shout you out there. And this is definitely a classic movie. My final thoughts on it: the animation is flawless. It's so memorable, so iconic, and I guess it has to be My Favorite Movies series.
Yeah.
This is going to be in the Christmas series.
Obviously.
We can add it into the My Favorite Movies, obviously. But it's definitely great. I love all the characters in it. It really is a great movie. You can watch it for Christmas and Halloween. I really think,
Or even-
if I had to say, I think it's 70% Halloween, 30% Christmas. Because a lot of it is transitioning, like learning about Christmas, but a lot of it is Halloween.
Yeah, I think you could watch it. Honestly, any time of the year. Obviously, it makes more sense to watch it around Halloween or Christmas, but I think you can watch it any time of the year. And once again, it's a great film. It like mixes like some like mystical fantasy type of like obviously like there's skeletons like fake things going on, but then also it mixes in the real world with the Christmas world of like you
The
could like
tanks and-
there's really like military taking down Jack Skellington's like sleigh. They have their that's right. They created the scientist created his skeleton reindeer. Just, obviously, just a great film overall, and memorable songs, memorable characters, and just absolute 10 out of 10 movie. I think for us. So thank you, Carno Fanboy, for recommending this on our Christmas series 2020. Thanks for watching our movie review of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and let us know in the comments what you guys think about this movie. And then the question I would ask, besides the fact of like, do you like it or not, would be, would you prefer watching this in Halloween time or Christmas time? And then as an add-on question, like what percent would you say is Halloween to Christmas? You said 70-30. I would say, I think it's more 85-15 in my opinion.
85 Halloween?
85% Halloween, 15% Christmas. Because I mean,
maybe
again,
I think
the
30
characters
might be
are
too
all
much.
Halloween. I honestly might go 90-10.
Well, because I think the reason I say more Christmas is because they're exploring Christmas for so long. There's a lot of Santa Claus. There is a lot in that world, and there's a lot of it learning about Christmas in the Halloween world.
The next addition to this Christmas series 2020 will be. Do you want to say it?
Well, we don't really know. Probably The Grinch. We might try to do a couple movie reviews a week. I don't know, since there's so many. Not a lot of them. And hopefully, going to get some Christmas versus videos in too.
Yeah.
But either way, we're going to try to get as many Christmas videos out as we can. Got obviously the Christmas theme here.
Yep.
Got a whole look at the Christmas hat.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
What did Santa bring you, honey?